Hola amigos, hello my friends. This is Mhelyssa and I'm so happy to see you week after week with so much to tell you about my guest. But before that, I remind you, go listen to my latest single, Si Una Vez, add it to all your playlists, wherever you listen to music. The purpose of these interviews is for me to expand my female-fronted knowledge from this universe by getting the chance to talk to other singers and ask them a little bit more about their art. But before this, I was investigating a lot more my guest, and soon I will become a female-fronted expert. Okay, but now, how did I meet Skye? She's Skye Sweetnam, and I discovered her music through my boyfriend, actually, and later through Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. She's all over the place, creating lots and lots of content. She's the singer of Sumo Cyco. Let's welcome Skye Sweetnam. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Here, I'm doing fine, but I'm very excited because we have a VIP guest.
Oh, you're so sweet. But yeah, how's so cool that you're from Mexico and spreading the word about female-fronted acts and vocalists. It's really cool. I love getting to know different people from all places in the world, and we haven't performed in Mexico yet, but I would love to.
And you are so invited to come when it is possible. So please consider Mexico. Here, there are lots and lots of fans of rock and metal. I'm sure and they will go crazy if you announce a date. So, since I want to know more about you, I prepared a little trivia to break the ice. People, share this, okay? Okay, you're gonna have to choose one option or the other. You don't have to explain. No judgment. All right?
Okay.
So let's begin. Money or free time?
Oh, free time, of course.
Forest or beach?
Forest.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Britney or Christina?
Britney. I have to. I went on tour with Britney.
Yes, we know. Ninjas or pirates?
That's a tough one. Really tough, but my instinct says pirates right off the top, although I do love a good ninja.
Travel to the past or to the future?
That's a tough one, but I would say past, I think.
Reality show or YouTube tutorial?
YouTube tutorial.
Comedy
it's bettering me.
Or horror?
Horror for sure.
Burgers or seafood?
I would say seafood.
Mm-hmm. Hailey or Avril?
That one's tough too. Because when I grew up, I got a lot of comparisons to Avril Lavigne, but I really love Hayley Williams. I think she's a really great artist. So I don't know. That one's got to be a tie.
Okay. Big or small party?
Big parties.
To listen to people's thoughts or animal thoughts?
Oh, I would love to know what an animal thinks. Animal thoughts for sure.
Nice. Invisibility or shape-shifting?
Oh, I would say shape-shifting would be fun because then I could like impersonate some of my favorite artists.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super speed or time freezing?
I think I would do time freezing.
Linkin Park or Evanescence?
Linkin Park for me.
Mm-hmm. Call or text?
I prefer when I can call people, but I probably text more often.
Mm-hmm. Boots or heels?
Boots. Although I love my heels, but boots are more practical if I had to pick one.
Wash the dishes or hand wash clothes?
I'll do the dishes.
Yeah. System of a Down or Skindred?
Oh, two of my faves. But I gotta give it to Skindred because Benji's been an amazing friend of mine. So Skindred for the win.
Yes. To fly or to teleport?
Fly. The experience would be cool, right? Just wind brushing through your hair.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs. I have a dog, Coma. She's at my feet right now.
Can you show it?
Coma, you want to come over here? She's like, she's a little older now, so she's pretty tired. We gave her a bath.
Okay. When she wakes up.
When she comes over, maybe a little later in the interview, she'll come up and say hi.
To play any instrument or to speak any language?
Oof. That one's tough because I find that I always think about learning another language because I would love to be able to sing in another language. But if I could snap my fingers and like be an expert at an instrument, I think I would take that one first.
Cool. Dinosaurs or aliens?
Oh, they're both really cool, but I'm going to say aliens. There's more mystery.
Oh, yeah. Move your car or move mountains?
Definitely mountains. You guys know me.
Yes. Wow. Excellent. You
Cool.
did it. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm okay. I survived.
Survived. Yeah.
Wasn't too hard. Only one tie. The rest I was able to make pretty quick decisions.
Yes. They won't judge you. But this is just a game. Okay, before we continue, I want to remind everybody to share this live stream. People might be sleeping or eating. Please let them know that we're live right now. And text here, please, where you're watching from. Send your questions. We will read some later.
Nice.
Okay, Skye. Well, the purpose of this interview, again, is to know you better. And I did my homework. I did research. I watched some interviews. I read articles. There are so many. Good. That's good for you. And, well, I was...
There's Coma.
Oh, hello. What's her name?
Coma.
Coma. Oh. Hi, Coma. Oh, here
Like,
Luis is barking.
There she goes.
Thank you. I was gonna say, now I have been listening to your music lately, and I feel it helps your fans or any person to understand a little bit more about the singer's life, the band's life, when you listen to their music. One step higher is when you try and play their music. For me as a singer-songwriter, I feel like internalizing the lyrics, trying to sing like the singer, it also gives me a very different perspective. Try to be in your shoes. And that is why we prepare this little surprise for you.
Vertigo, vertigo.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I was so nervous.
Oh, you guys are great. We've never really jammed that song acoustically before, so that's a cool version. I liked that.
Well, be my guest. Well, Luis is, Luis is guest. That's my guitar player, Luis, and we wanted to give you this present. That was.
Oh, I
the
loved it.
song.
Thank you, Louis. You're very good. I loved your rocking out. You're into it. I was digging all the vocals. Good job, guys.
Thank you. Well, your composition is excellent. Well, so love. It's so much fun. All your songs, your music, they are full of energy, emotions, versatility. I would really love to have a collaboration anyhow, whether it is visuals, as well, lyrics, or even in a song. I would love to.
Awesome. Yeah, you're really talented. You just keep doing what
Thank
you
you.
do, girl. And I'm sure you'll reach all the dreams you want to reach. You got it.
And
You
if
got
you come
great
to Mexico, yes,
there too.
we can open up your concerts. That would be
Awesome.
great. Yes.
Can I ask you what the rock scene is like in Mexico?
Usually, like in many Latin American countries, pop and other Latin sounds are more trendy. However, there is a public for metal, for rock, and they do festivals. Probably you've heard about some of them, like Hell in Heaven, etc. So we have some of them. Fans, please help me with the names of the festivals so that they can contact some of Cyco. Tag them here, please. So yes, I don't see. International metal bands play in stadiums. So that's what he's telling me. Yes, usually as headliners, because here the local bands are what with rock metal. They don't go as big yet. I mean, those
Right.
festivals. So you have a big shot. If you come here, you might be a headliner.
Who knows? But I'll just come just so I can enjoy some tacos and enjoy
Exactly.
the weather. So
She
I'll
knows
be
her
there no
food.
matter what, and the music's bonus.
Of course. And the beach.
Oh yeah.
You just released a deluxe version of Initiation, right?
Yeah.
And it has 4 extra tracks. My question initially was, are these new tracks, or why were they not included in the original version?
Yeah, so when we put together the track listing for Initiation, we had written quite a bit of music. And going through with the label with, how many songs can fit on a vinyl, and then what would we release on a digital version versus CD version, and all this kind of stuff. We were just kind of brainstorming ideas, and we had these extra songs. So the label kind of suggested, well, why don't we kind of put a few little Easter eggs out for like the diehard fans. So if you bought a physical album, even when it came out originally, you would have gotten one of the bonus tracks. If you bought the deluxe diehard vinyl, then you would have gotten 3 of the bonus tracks, but all 4 of the bonus tracks haven't been available until this deluxe version. So Sun Eater is the newest single and video that we made, and that kind of, I feel, when you're releasing a record, after a few months go by, sometimes fans and people out there need another reminder and another kind of fresh song to kind of remind them, like, hey, there is a record out here. If you haven't listened to it, here's another reminder. So I think having like the deluxe versions where you have almost like 2 release dates kind of is a way to just extend the life of your music and to get people excited about it later on, maybe when they've kind of listened to it maybe once and then forgot, and then it's like, oh yeah, totally should check out this. So yeah, it's kind of like a way to give fans more content and more videos, but also a way to kind of let the albums live longer with this digital age, because everyone's moving so fast and your music comes out so fast,
Yeah, and making an album takes a lot of time, so yes, why not include more singles. Fans are
Yeah.
very excited. I'd like to know, well, how are you getting more exposure? New fans are getting to know you for the first time and they are discovering your first albums. What would you say has changed the most from your earlier music to now?
Yeah, well, I think just as songwriters, we're a lot more deliberate with what we do, and sometimes that can be a good thing and a bad thing. So when you first start a band, I tend to think sometimes it's just like this explosion of passion, and you just have this stuff inside of you that it's bursting to get out, and you just let it out, and then there's sides of you that's like, okay, you start being self-critical, right? So you start thinking like, okay, how do I make this better, and what do I need to do to get more people to like this music, and how do I bring in these different sounds that I like and incorporate it into what's me, and you can start to kind of really kind of dissect things and overthink things, and in a way you kind of sometimes, I find that you kind of can lose some of that like initial just like burst of energy, don't care what anyone thinks kind of idea. So I think that there's a bit of a side of me now going into like the next phase that I'm trying to like find that kind of inner child in me that just wants to explore music and not really think about, the rules. And I think most people know that there's kind of these general rules about music. Like most songs on the radio are about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and usually there's like a verse and a chorus and a typical format. But I think in alternative music and metal music, that is something that's kind of accepted to kind of like throw out the window and play with. So you don't have to necessarily be in a box or play by the rules. And I think that that's what attracted me to the genre early on, coming from a pop background, is the fact that there's so many different things you can do within the genre that I think more like, kind of music head type of people who are really into like dissecting the songs and kind of really listening for more than just like the bass melody and hook can kind of dive in and explore, so that every time you hear the song, you can hear something different and feel like there's almost these new sounds and new things you're discovering as you listen to it. So I think it's a process as an artist to always evolve, but at the same time, you kind of want to still hang on to some of that, childish excitement where you can just be like, yeah, I just want to jam with my friends and I just want to make music that just comes out. And I'm an overthinker, and I'm business minded too, because I've run so much of what Sumo Cyco does. So sometimes that business mind can like creep into the creative side, and you're like, no, stay away. Let me be just the creative version of myself.
Yes, overthinking. I feel related to that. And we're so lucky that you have been in the music world for so many years, because we got to see your evolve, and now, we see so many shades of you. we see all your sides. But yes, you're right, and you're doing it great. I mean, I don't think that you have lost your inner child. You keep doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of my philosophy to always put stuff out and not be too much of a perfectionist, that I'm too scared to just kind of show people what I've been working on, no matter how different or weird it might be. It's in my head, and that's my personal expression. And I think sometimes artists can stop themselves when they overthink too much and they don't put stuff out and just kind of like let themselves grow in front of their fans, instead of always kind of working in the shadows and then like never letting somebody see it until it's like, they've worked on it for years and years. You know what I mean? Like, just put it out there, and
they lose a lot of time. When fans are very excited to see every single step, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that makes it really cool when you can kind of see into someone's process and see the evolution. I really enjoy that for other artists, so that's what I try to do myself.
As a songwriter myself, I always ask this: what is your process as when you're writing songs with the band, or do you do it first and then you take the idea to them, or are you
Yeah.
jamming and it comes up?
Yeah, well, we're really lucky here at our place. Matt, our guitarist, is also the producer, and him and I live together. So music is a 24-hour type of thing for me, and there's really no time off that we're not thinking about music or talking about it or talking about music videos
Yes.
or business. So typically Matt is the kind of mad scientist, I call him, because he'll be in his studio room and he'll just like jam on all this stuff, and he can play multiple instruments, produce everything. And so sometimes he'll just come up with a really cool piece of music and just hand it off to me and just be like, okay, you do your thing over top. What are the vocals? What are the lyrics? Or sometimes there'll be rare occasions where I'll have like, oh, I really want to write a song that's like this title, and I'll kind of just give him that, see what happens. Or sometimes he'll even, like with Move Mountains, the song Move Mountains, he had that like phrase in his head, like, I can move mountains, I can move mountains. And he was like, what do you think? And I was like, yeah, just go for it. And so he kind of ran with that idea. But we're really push and pull, the two of us. We aren't afraid to like criticize each other pretty harshly. So there's been moments where we get frustrated with each other if we disagree, but I think that what makes Sumo Cyco what it is the complete collaboration of when we both find that middle ground of he really likes a track and I really like a track, because I think we do have pretty different tastes in some ways. You know, we have different backgrounds. I come from more of like a pop and like theater background, and he has more of like a punk rock kind of underground vibe. So, you know, when we can find something we both agree on, it's like perfect. You know, it's like that's what Sumo Cyco is.
Exactly, and that's the sound of Sumo Cyco.
Yeah.
Oh, now it makes sense. Oh, very good. Now we are going to play a new game. I know they're all new for you. The rules are simple. Don't be scared. I will show you a picture, and you have to tell me 2 things about it. Okay? Like what it is about, when was it taken, more or less. Not exactly. You can also tell me if it means something special for you. For example, look at this picture.
Oh,
this is not part of the game. This is the example. Here, obviously, you would have to say this is Jurassic Park, probably the year, 1993, and you would tell me if you liked the movie or not. Okay, let's begin now with the first picture. Ta-da!
Okay, so this one is a screenshot from our music video Limp, which is one of our first music videos we ever put out back in like 2011, I think it was. And this was a really fun music video to shoot because the whole video, I am one character and then I slowly start turning into a zombie to like kill all my mates, and they all die at the end. And the contacts, if you can see, I'm wearing like contacts in my eyes. The white one, you can't see through it, blinds you.
Oh.
And so that's why I thought, oh, I'll do one eye so I can still see out of my other eye. The other character had to wear 2. The other guy had to wear 2, so he was completely blind as a like, chasing the forest.
I've never worn this glitter.
Shout out Brad, because literally we took him, put all this makeup on him, made him blind, and just said like, run in this forest. And he's like, run, I can't see anywhere.
Yeah, watch him so he doesn't fall.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, so this is Love You Wrong, and this was can't remember if I put it out in 2018 or 19, but it was like right before the pandemic. Is the first single from Initiation. And this is one of my favorite videos that I've directed. I really enjoyed being on location, and Kieran, who is playing the love interest in this, was really fun to work with. And we had all the band members playing the different SWAT guys, and the police actually came twice to check on us because we had all these lights going and we were in the middle of this kind of, you know, residential country area where people are like, what is going on over there with all this music and lights?
Wow, I really appreciate when bands take the time to make videos. That's part of my favorite part of all of this music making. And you direct the videos. How much do you love that part of the video making, the directing? Is it too hard, stressful, or you simply just enjoy?
Yeah, well, it's it has its up and downs. Like, deadlines are my enemy, right? Because you have to try to get things done before release day, and ideally, to do the proper promotion, you want to have some time to kind of come up with some ideas rather than last minute the day before it's coming out, and you're like,
but what made you step as a director? Because I know in the United States there are so many directors.
Yeah, well, directing for me just came naturally because I knew I needed visuals to get my music out there, and it was something that Matt and myself were really interested in. And so for the first couple of videos, I rented all my gear, and I realized how expensive it was to rent everything. So I thought, you know what, if I'm going to keep making music, I'm probably going to keep making videos, and therefore maybe I should just invest in a camera and a couple of lights, and it just kind of went from there. And then I started directing videos for other people. I did some like TV show pilots and just really kind of got into doing the DIY thing. And to me, it's a necessity to run our business. I don't know how we would be able to do it if we didn't, you know, incorporate some of the video making into our in-house skills and into our process of creativity. And for me, the videos always tell a story, and there's always a theme that kind of runs through our album that shows in the videos. So everything takes place in our world of Cyco City, and it's hard to explain to someone who's new to it because there's so many facets of it, but it's basically a world where anything goes, and I try to have reoccurring characters and storylines, and so it's kind of like a fun passion project.
Yeah, we've seen the Easter eggs, but we have another picture for you.
Ooh, this was super fun. This was 2019. We were on the Avalanche stage at Download Festival in UK. And yeah, we as a band had never played a festival before at this size. This was like our first time on like a stage like this. And it was one of my favorite weekends ever, because not only did we have a great performance and had a great time there, but we also did like an acoustic show, and it was raining, and we just had the complete like England download experience. They call them their wellies, like the rain boots. So we all bought our wellies and our raincoats and expected for, it goes from sun to, you know, rain, and that's kind of like part of the experience. So we really enjoyed that, and I got to see so many other cool bands that day, and yeah, it was just an awesome, awesome day. So
right now, do you miss touring, or do you enjoy having time to do studio work finally?
Oh, well, I miss touring so much. 2019, before the pandemic hit, was a really busy year for us. We had a lot of great opportunities, a lot of great shows we played, and even the first month of 2020, we were on the road as well. So at that point, I was kind of actually ready for a couple months off to work on music, and little did I know I would get a couple years off.
Yeah.
So, you know, at first I was kind of like, I can deal with this. We can make music videos, we can do music. But after a certain point, I just really miss the connection in a room with the fans. I really miss the stage. It honestly is one of the most rewarding parts of being in a band, is getting to travel and perform shows for people. So it feels like there's a part a little part of my soul that's missing when I don't get to perform. So we're working on planning the next tours, and we're looking forward to 2022, and hopefully that will be a better year for getting out there and touring.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. Oh, that is 2004 or 6. I can't remember. Somewhere around there.
Baby Skye.
With Britney, and that was like, you know, a real coming of age time for me. I was like 16 years old and touring with one of the biggest,
Exactly.
you know, pop.
It was like, what was it like?
I mean, it's kind of hard to describe because at the time, it almost felt like my reality, where it doesn't have this like unreal kind of, you know, connotation that it maybe does now. Because when you kind of get into a rhythm for, like, we played 50 shows together, so it's a lot of shows. You kind of start just, that becomes your world and your reality, and you say, hey Britney, in the hallways, and it starts to become just like your everyday routine, which is kind of crazy to say, because in hindsight you're like, whoa, like performing in arenas with Britney Spears is like a really surreal thing to happen to someone. But for me, it felt so natural to who I was and what I wanted to do.
That was normal for you.
Yeah.
And how was she like?
Yeah, she was really great, and I feel really bad with what she's had to endure through the last few years, and learning more about it as more information has come out and stuff. It really breaks my heart, because I think that tour was one of like the last things that kind of she was able to do before things started kind of rolling and getting kind of crazy. And, you know, I think that the one thing I can say is that I do feel like people will never know or really understand what it's like to be in her shoes. And I had a tiny little glimpse of that, you know, a tiny little bit of the experience and the fame and seeing it from that perspective, but it wasn't like what it's like to be her. And I think there is a lot of tough, crazy feelings that someone like that goes through at that level of fame that just no one will be able to understand, because they can't relate to what she is going through and what her life is like. And I just feel for her, because I think your family should be the ones really grounding you and feel safe and secure. And that's like the opposite of what was happening with her. So I wish her all the best. And yeah,
we do too.
Britney.
Free Britney.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the next picture. Yay.
Yeah. All right. So this is in Newport, Wales, which is Benji Webb's hometown. We went over there to do a tour and kind of tacked on the end of it actually doing a music video with Benji, which was so cool. And I mean, I can't say enough about him, because it's one thing for him to say, yeah, sure, I'll do a music video with you, but it's another thing for him to bring us into his hometown, show us around, took us out for the night, got a video guy to come in and film us, like arranged all of that for us. And I honestly could not stop smiling this day. It was like meeting one of my heroes. And I had the best time. And I just want to say huge shout out and thanks to Benji, because there's something really, really, really validating when someone that you admire so much takes you under their wing like he did. And it really just gave me the confidence, and like, you know, I was just so self-assured that I was in the right place doing the right thing. And so, yeah, shout out to Benji. We love ya.
Hi, Benji. Next.
Okay, that one is from a video called Human. I'm just signaling to my boyfriend to get me my power cord for my laptop. Right over there. But yeah, this one is from a video called Human, and it was, oh man, what year was this? It was like, yeah, 2009, you know it? 2007? Okay, so I'm really bad with years for some reason. Can't remember like 5 years is just a blur for me. But yeah, so this video was for a song called Human. It was on my record called Sound Soldier, And this music video was actually filmed in my family business quarry. So it was really kind of cool. I was obsessed with Tank Girl at the time, which is a comic book about a girl who rides a bull or a tank. And so I thought, oh, I'll do my own version and I'll ride a bulldozer instead of a tank. So I souped up my bulldozer. So that I could like put speakers on it and, you know, my leopard skin seat and a chandelier. And I just loved it. I loved it so much. And I just was like, this has to be in my video. And yeah, I really loved this video. It's one of the more cinematic moments. And I got to give props to all the crew. And Sean Weinstein was the guy who directed it. And he made the crew like work overtime to make sure we got all the shots. And it was just really cool. It was a really awesome, fun day. All the dancers were like in Mad Max uniforms, and yeah, it was really
cool. Yes. That was part of your era of the pop music. Do you still listen to pop music today?
Yeah, I listen to all types of music today. Like today I was putting on like some 80s like new wave stuff. There's so many different genres that I love and I can draw inspiration from. And yeah, when you love music, I feel like you can kind of see different qualities and different types of music that can attract you, even if it doesn't necessarily seem like what you'd be into. For instance, like Sumo Cyco uses a lot of calypso beats. And that's not something I think typically is something when people think of like heavy music, they think of that. But we can find the little kind of things that we like and pick and choose and kind of meld them into our own sound.
Something else we found out is that Matt was a guitar player with you back then. How cool is that?
Yeah, so we've known each other since I was like 14 years old. Oh. And he auditioned to be in my band when I was singing pop stuff, and then obviously we got to know each other and he showed me like other types of music and we started collaborating and writing songs, and we even wrote a bunch of songs for my solo project that nobody has heard, I think, unless they have some type of bootlegged version on the internet. But yeah, we worked together and wrote songs together, and then it just kind of like years went by and we kind of reconnected and decided, you know, let's try something new, and that's when Sumo Cyco was born.
Okay, next.
Oh, okay. This is the first studio experience with the band. Matt is the one in the skull mask right there, and that's Ken Thorquirk, which was another original member of the Skye Sweetnam band. And Legs Leger there, Brian Leger, he also played for me when I was doing my pop music, but later on after the Britney era. And he then went on to play for Every Time I Die and a bunch of other bands. And he's been in the scene a long time too. Great friend as well. So yeah, this is a really great memory of us getting in the studio and recording.
It's actually from the time you just opened your Facebook account as Sumo Cyco. How did you choose that name, Sumo Cyco? Or what does it mean?
Well, Sumo Cyco is one of these weird things that I just loved the two words, and kind of was in a position that we were going on like our first show, and it's like a band name is one of the hardest things to come up with, and I really wanted something that was original, that you could look it up online and it would be the first thing to pop up on Google. And that's my business mind talking, but I wanted it to sound like something you've never heard before with the two words, like sonically. And I think more than anything, I liked the phonics of like Sumo Cyco. I just liked the O's and the four kind of syllables that it kind of sounds like. But the name kind of stems also from sumo being kind of conjuring up this powerful image of like a big sumo wrestler, like kicking butt and just being so powerful and strong, which is something we want to be. And Cyco, which is obviously a little crazy, a little like off the wall. And so to us, those two words were something that kind of described a bit of what our sound was going to was going to be like.
In Spanish, it sounds like other words. I don't know if it happens to you with other languages. Does it exist, mosaic? Otherwise, that sounds like her mosaic. Su mosaico. Okay. Yes, we were wondering. Next.
Oh, okay. So this is a still from a music video, Bystander, which was released in 2020, and it's a character that I like to call Barbara Bones, who is a newscaster in Cyco City, and that's me. That's me in the makeup with prosthetics on and the wigs and everything like that.
You play many characters in your videos, and you love the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, this is still from Sleep Tight. Music video. People may not know that Matt actually did my makeup for this.
Wow, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, and he's never done my makeup before. This is the first time he like really attempted to do some like artsy stuff. And then the eyes in motion have like different colors moving in them, and that's kind of like a green screen element that we did. But yeah, that's for Sleep Tight.
Since you are someone who loves videos, could you mention one or two videos that really inspired you from other musicians?
Oh, wow. Well, I love Bjork's videos. Like all of her videos are just stunning. She's just like a complete artist. Another artist that comes to mind is an artist from Estonia named Curly. I don't know if anyone is familiar with her. Yeah, she is. I really admire people or artists, musicians that I feel have their own aesthetic as well, and they create beyond just
a different
music.
world.
Exactly. So she's one of those artists that I feel truly just wants to create and is not necessarily bound by the forces of the music industry. It's like you can really see that authentic, just passion come out in her outfits and videos and music that she creates, and I love that. So anytime I can notice that within an artist, especially female artists that I feel like I can relate to a bit, it's really inspiring for me. And I love seeing like creators really take their career into their own hands and really be a hands-on presence in everything that they do.
Exactly, I feel the same. This one.
Okay, so this is in our home studio, our neon open sign, and I'm assuming with the dark hair, this was very early on, so probably maybe like 10 years ago or something, I would think. Yeah, so this would be like 2011 or 12 or something around there, and yeah, this is us in our little tiny studio, which probably hasn't changed much since that photo was taken. But I'm wearing I made that Clutch t-shirt. One of Matt's favorite bands is a band called Clutch. And I had a passion really early on to always do tutorials on YouTube of like how to customize your band tees and whatnot. Exactly. So that's one of the early designs.
And this one?
This is Run with the Giants. So another music video from our record Initiation, and this came out I think in 2019. And this is all of like a bunch of friends of ours actually in our yard across the street. There's a park, and that's where we filmed all the baseball scenes. And just had everyone come to our house. A bunch of people came to our house, and I had all these jerseys are on sale at our website right now, by the way. There's only a couple left if anyone's interested in the original baseball jerseys. And it's for a crew called Anonymous 9, which is one of 4 gangs or groups or factions that are from Cyco City that we talk about in the Initiation era, the Initiation album. So that was a fun video to film.
Excellent.
There is Heidi. So Heidi sings in Butcher Babies, and she's an awesome vocalist. And we've toured with them a couple times. We toured with them one of our first European tours we were touring with them, and then we also did a tour with them in the States with Nonpoint as well and Butcher Babies, and that was a really fun tour. I think maybe that was 2018.
Yes, you got
You
it.
know?
Yes.
Yeah, 2018, and it was called the Kings and Queens Tour. And during this tour, we had the great opportunity to bring Francesca Ludicar along, which is a photographer and graphic designer that I've worked with on a lot of Sumo Cyco. And we were able to make a tour book. And this is one of the photos that we took for the tour book to kind of document everything that happened on that tour. And
It turned out beautiful.
not only a cool thing that I would love to do again because it is a thing fans can take home from the tour, but it was also such a keepsake for us to remember all the good times on the road.
Awesome. This?
Oh, hello. So this is a shot behind the scenes on set from a music video called Danger. And before we started releasing albums, before we released Lost in Psycho City, so this would have been maybe 2012 or 2013, we just put out singles all the time.
Yeah. According to my source, 2011.
Oh, it was that early. Okay, 2011. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so 2011, and yeah, Danger is one of our original music videos that we put out as a single. And this is a screenshot from The Ugly, which is the first single we released off of Lost in Psycho City, which was our first album. So this was probably 2013. Melissa's like really good with the dates. I don't know how you know all. Yeah, according to my. But yeah, and then I thought it was kind of fun because the skeleton in this era we named Gary. So Gary the skeleton is in a guest starring in a lot of our music videos. So whether it's his arms or his torso or his skull head, usually Gary can be found in a lot of our music videos, especially in this Lost in Psycho City era.
You have to pay attention and find Gary.
Yeah.
You have lots and lots of videos.
Yeah.
Like
this one is Crowd Control, and on April Fools, I think it was around April Fools when we released 2 music videos. So we released Feel My Fire and we released Crowd Control back to back. So our fans didn't know that they were going to get 2 songs. They thought they were just going to get 1 video. And so it was kind of our April Fool's joke, but it kind of wasn't a trick. It was more like a treat, I guess. And we had a lot of fun with this video. We had all of our friends with the big, we call them our pteronauts, which was the big skull-headed creatures, and they were partying, and then the maid goes crazy after being abused by having to work and slave away for all the guests, and she goes off and decides to massacre everybody.
As someone who also makes her own videos, I wanted to ask, how do you find the time to tour, record, make and edit videos? So, praise.
Yeah. Well, thank you. It is a full-time job, and it definitely is something that takes a lot of effort and work, but when you love what you do, it doesn't seem like it's as much of a job as much as it's fun. So for us, the video making process and the music making process are probably the 2 most demanding parts of being in the band. But I try to put on all the different hats, right? So I'll have on my marketing hat. I mean, we run a store out of our house. We do, arrange the tours. We have even in the past, built our own tour bus. So we found this, old shuttle bus that was kind of run down, and we kind of redid that into our tour bus. So we really enjoy being hands-on and doing everything DIY to the point where I almost feel like I'm too controlling and I need to hire other people. But yes. I just love doing it myself so much that I just do it all the time. It's just so much fun. So yeah, it really is a lifelong passion of mine to do all this stuff.
Do you actually, now that we're talking, have another project, or organize things for others? You're an
Not
expert.
really.
Mhm.
I mean, I used to work before I was able to do Sumo Cycle full time, I worked on other artists' music videos. I did social media content creation. I've animated other videos and done other types of like consultation projects and whatnot to make ends meet. And whenever I need to do that, I will do that. But I've been very, very lucky not having to had to work outside of the entertainment industry, because that's like my favorite thing. So I really do believe that when
The
you do
dream.
what you love, it's not really work. So for me, it's all about just finding different creative projects, and I have no idea what else I'm gonna do in my future, but I know I want to try so many things. So I'm totally open to, maybe writing a book or trying to do a movie, or I love design, I love art. So, who knows where that will take me in the future, but I'm sure I'll find a way. But I gotta say, Mhelyssa, like, it's not always easy. There are moments where you're like, wow, like the amount of work I have to put in to, get a tiny little money in return. You're really, in this industry, money is not really valuable. It's more of the experiences and the type of lifestyle that you get to lead. So it is frustrating sometimes when you're like, man, like you work so hard on this stuff, and the music industry, out of all industries, is suffering so much in this time, as well as it was suffering, when loading happened and no one could buy physical medium anymore. So like the music industry has gone through a lot of reconstruction over the past couple decades since I've been in it or been experiencing it, and it is constantly you constantly have to adapt. Like at every moment you have to adapt, and I've been doing this for long enough that I've kind of learned that everything is going to change. You adapt to one social media and another one comes along.
Yes,
or
I know.
you figure out one tour and now that gets canceled and you have to do something else, and your single's doing well, so you do this instead. Like it's a constant cycle of adapting and changing and adjusting your ideas. Yeah, exactly.
Never stop.
So there is really, and the other thing too, I think that people don't realize in this job is that there's no like level that you get where you can't be bumped off and go back down to the bottom. Like at every moment you could like fail epically, and if you don't put out enough music or you don't do X, Y, and Z, you could be like back at the bottom, starting to try to get the momentum going back to your career. Whereas in other jobs, it's like once you become a manager, you never really kind of go back down. Some people just kind of keep going up in their job title. So that doesn't really happen in music industry. It's only like as good as you are in the past, like
there's nothing like you made it. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Friends are texting. Thank you so much for watching and sharing. Let's send greetings to Colombia, Estado de México, El Salvador, Ecuador. Thank you so much for watching. They're asking, when are you gonna come to Mexico?
Well, first of all, we need to get out of Canada first, because we haven't left here in the past 2 years. So, we're open to any opportunity. So if there's anyone listening who has a club or an in for a festival or whatever, hit us up on our email. We're always open to things. But yeah, we're just kind of hoping to get out on the road, at least in the States and in Europe in 2022, trying to make those plans happen. And I mean, South America and Mexico would be great to go to as well. Like, I would just love to have the experience of what it's like to tour there. Just me personally, not very selfishly, just want to see what it's like.
That's good. Bring them all with you. Now, guess what?
Yeah.
We have our last game of the
Nice.
day. Hope you're ready. I'll read a phrase. You have to answer with the first thing that comes into your mind. You only have 5 seconds to answer. Let's begin. Favorite cartoon from your childhood?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Food that you cook best?
Food I cook best. I'm gonna say spaghetti.
Good. Celebrity crush?
celebrity crush. Oh no, who would I pick? I just gotta say Brad Pitt. It's a typical one,
Nice.
but great actor, man.
Favorite superhero?
My boyfriend's saying Thor. Yeah, I like Chris Hemsworth and Thor. He's funny. It's pretty funny.
Useless talent of yours.
Useless talent, hula hooping.
A must-have backstage.
Ooh, a must-have. For me, that's vodka.
Country that you'd like to visit.
Oh, Mexico. Obviously, we were just talking about it.
Weirdest job you've ever had.
Weirdest job. I don't know if it was weird, but I usually have to I've done a few consultation jobs where I have to teach people kind of like how to perform. So
nice.
That can be interesting because depending on like who you're working with and stuff, it can be like, an interesting process trying to bring out their inner confidence. You know what I mean?
Yes. Language that you'd like to learn.
I would love to learn Japanese.
Nice. Extreme sport you would practice.
Well, I've done a little bit of snowboarding, but I could do more of that. And I've also gone bungee jumping, and I want to bring it up to skydiving. So eventually we'll get there.
Sky in the sky.
Yeah.
Favorite musical artist we wouldn't expect you like?
Oh, interesting. Well, I really love Imogen Heap. I don't know if you guys know who she is, but she's very contemporary. She's very artistic, and she does all of her music herself. And she'll like go on it. Like the last album she did, she went to like India and just like listened to all these different sounds and then made music out of the sounds, like bicycles and bells and things that she heard on her trip. And it's definitely more mellow kind of music than like the intense stuff we do as a band. But she's really artistic, and I think she's a genius for what she does.
Excellent. Series you're watching?
Series I'm watching Foundation right now, which is about like starting this. It's kind of in the future, and it's about all these people that kind of start a place to kind of let the generations in the future know if they go extinct, like how all the knowledge that they know, how to start a foundation for a new civilization. It's interesting.
I love sci-fi.
Yeah.
Song for the gym.
Song for the gym. I'm gonna say, what should I say? I'm gonna say like anything from Rage Against the Machine pumps me up. So yeah.
Band you'd like to see reunited.
Band I'd like to see reunited. Oh man. There's a band that is very also not well known, but they're called Animal Alpha. And I fell in love with them, I think, right when they broke up. So that's kind of a sad thing when you find a band that you really like and they're just breaking up. But they did this album called You Pay for the Whole Seat, but all you get is the Edge is the whole name of the album. And I really found a genuine spark in that music to start Sumo Cyco. So after listening to that music as well as some other artists, it was really a catalyst to get me excited about heavy music and the genre. So if anyone kind of wants to know where Sumo Cyco was born, check out Animal Alpha.
And we will. Last one, musical discovery of the year.
Musical discovery of the year. Now, I've known this band for a while, but this album I think just put it over the top for me. It's a band called Turnstile, really punk, and their new record Glow On is like front to back a real banger, and I'm loving it right now. And I knew them from before, but Matt was more of a fan and he played me a couple songs, but this record I'm really, really digging. So people check out Turnstile.
Oh, ding, ding, ding. That's the end of the game. Thank you so much, Skye. Congratulations. You are an artist full-time, all everywhere. I don't know how to describe you, but you are excellent. You're so talented and very beautiful. I admire you more this week than I did before, and especially after today. I want to invite everybody to follow Sumo Cyco, Skye Sweetnam, sorry.
Okay.
And follow her on her official website, right? Because we were talking about this.
SumoPsycho.com. And we're also Sumo Psychos on all social media as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and it's spelled SUMOCYCO. And you can find us across all those socials.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Skye. And I remind you, I'd love to collaborate with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mhelyssa, for having me. I hope our paths cross in the future. I hope we can come to Mexico and meet in real life. That would be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Bye.